This tutorial is for 4th grade, Module 1, Lesson 11. In this lesson, we're going to use the standard algorithm for addition to find our sums. You can see I have 3 problems written here. In each problem, the numbers are stacked on top of each other so that the place values line up, meaning my ones are on top of my ones, tens on top of my tens, hundreds on top of my hundreds, and so on. I'm going to start my addition in the ones column. So in problem D, I have 4 plus 3, which equals 7. So I'll put that sum down below. In the tens place, I have 1 plus 9. 1 plus 9 is 10. But what I need to do is put down a 0 and move my 1 into my hundreds place, because 10 tens is 100, and I can't put more than 1 digit in any place value. So I'll put my 0 down and my 1. Now I'm carrying at the bottom of the problem here. This helps me see the 10 that I got from my sum, and it reminds me to add that 1 in when I add my hundreds. So in the hundreds place, I have 3 plus 4, which is 7, plus 1 more, which is 8. So I have a sum of 807. In the next problem, I'll start in the ones column again. I have 4 plus 3, which is 7, 1 plus 9, which is 10, and I'll show that 100 over there. In the hundreds place, I have 3 plus 4, which is 7, plus 1, which is 8, and 1 in my thousands place. That gives us a final sum of 1,807. And in problem F, I have 8 plus 3, which is 11. And again, I'm going to show that 11 as a 10 and a 1. Moving to my tens place, I have 7 plus 6, which is 13, plus 1 more, which is 14. I'll put that 14 as 1 in my hundreds place and 4 in my tens place. In my hundreds place, I have 3 plus 4, which is 7, plus 1 more, which is 8, which gives us a sum of 841. The next problem is a word problem, and I'm going to solve it on the tape diagram so we can really visualize what's going on in the problem. The question says, in September, Liberty Elementary School collected 537 cans for a fundraiser. In October, they collected 492 cans. How many cans were collected during September and October? So I have my tape diagram already drawn. I really just need to fill in the labels, and this helps me think about the problem and think about the size of the numbers. I'm going to start by writing an answer statement with a blank for my answer. This will help me focus on the goal of the question. Since the final question says how many cans were collected during September and October, I'm going to start my statement as if I were answering that question. I would say, they collected blank cans in September and October. Now let's fill in our tape diagram. I can see I have one tape longer than the other, so the longer tape will be for the greater number. The greater number is 537, and that's what they collected in September. So this label will show September, and then I'll write 537 for my label. And that means in October, they collected 492 cans. The answer to my question will be found when I combine those two numbers. So I just need to do an addition problem. I'm going to do that off to the side. So I have 537 and 492. Making sure I line up my ones on top of my ones, tens on top of tens, hundreds on top of hundreds. Starting in my ones column, 7 plus 2 is 9. In my tens column, 3 plus 9 is 12. And in my hundreds column, I have 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. That tells me that they collected 1,029 cans in September and October. So again, we use that tape diagram to help us slow down, think about the question, and really visualize what's happening to those numbers in the problem.